Once upon a time, in a faraway land nestled between hills that shimmered like emeralds and valleys overflowing with ripe grapes, there lived a king named Midas. Now, King Midas wasn't your typical ruler. Sure, he had all the trappings of wealth and power, but what truly made him happy was gold. Ah, yes, he loved gold more than anything in this world. He loved it more than the melodious tunes that his court musicians played. He loved it more than the joyful peals of laughter that echoed through his grand halls. And perhaps, King Midas loved it even more than his own dear daughter. Now, his kingdom was a prosperous one, and he had more gold than any king in the neighboring lands. Yet, despite all his riches, there was a restlessness in his heart. One day, as he sat on his throne, heavy with thoughts of gold, a mysterious stranger appeared at his court. The king looked up, intrigued, for there was something about the stranger that seemed out of the ordinary. As the stranger approached, he announced, "Great king, I come bearing a gift from my friend. For you once showed my friend kindness when he was in need, and as a token of our gratitude, he has asked me to present you with a gift of your choice." King Midas, always thinking of gold, didn't hesitate. "I want everything I touch to turn to gold," he declared. The stranger looked surprised. "Are you sure, great king? Such a gift may not bring the joy you expect." Midas, however, was adamant, and so the wish was granted. Midas jumped up from his throne, eager to see his new power in action. He reached out and touched a rose, and in an instant it turned to a flower of pure gold. He touched a loaf of bread, and that, too, turned to shining metal. Walls, chairs, goblets, everything he touched became gold. At first, he reveled in his good fortune. It was like having a magic wand. Everything he touched became valuable. It was as if he was playing a game where he could create gold out of nothing. But soon, hunger gnawed at him. He looked down at the bread in his hands, now a golden sculpture instead of a nourishing loaf. The wine in his goblet, which moments ago had smelled like ripe grapes, now was just a pile of useless metal. He tried to drink from the jug, but it had turned to a heavy, useless lump in his hands. And it wasn't just food and drink. Everything he touched was becoming gold, and now his entire kingdom was in danger. Then, in that moment of despair, his beloved daughter ran to him, her arms outstretched in a loving embrace. And without thinking, Midas hugged her tight. Oh, how he loved that girl. She was the sunshine in his kingdom, the laughter in his halls. But in that instant, the moment she touched his arm, she turned to gold, her smile frozen forever in a golden mask. Midas fell to his knees, his heart shattering into 1,000 pieces. All his wealth, all his power. What were they worth if he couldn't even enjoy them? In his anguish, he cried out to the gods, begging them to take away his gift. The gods, moved by his sorrow, replied, "We have heard your plea, King Midas. Or, to undo this, we want you to bathe in the river Pactolus. Its waters will wash away the curse." With newfound determination, Midas journeyed to the river Pactolus, bathed in its healing waters, and returned home. And lo and behold, his daughter was alive again, and the gold was gone. From that day forward, King Midas was a changed man. He learned that true treasure wasn't just about gold or material wealth. He realized that the real riches lay in the laughter of his people, in the love of his family, and in the simple joys of life that gold could never buy. And that, my dear friends, is the story of King Midas, the man who loved gold more than anything, but learned that the greatest treasure is often the love and laughter of life. So remember, not all treasures shine, and not all that shines is treasure.